Blog Talk Radio.
Rockers in Recovery Media is dedicated to carrying the message of addiction recovery through music, news, events, and festivals taking place within and not limited to the clean and sober community.
Hey, good morning. John Hollis with Rockers in Recovery. You're listening to Waking Up Blessed. Waking Up Blessed is a show that we started to produce and have been kicking it around for a while now and loving it. And it's about starting our day with an inspirational story or experience, strength, and hope to be able to, show people or help people along the path to, how do we work our day? First of all, I get to wake up blessed every morning. By the grace of God, I woke up blessed this morning. What do? For me, I grab my little black book, I sit outside, I have a cup of coffee, I watch the squirrels, I read my book, I pray, I sit quiet, I be still, think about my day ahead. There's that whole process that I go through to be able to get in tune with what my higher power wants for me through the day and seeking what he wants, not what I want. And one of the great pleasures I've had over the years since 2008 in producing radio shows and being a part of Rockers in Recovery and working with Rockers in Recovery, we have been able to meet a lot of different people. And our guest today is Brian O'Shea, and he's a gentleman that I've seen a lot of, and I've seen his message, and I've heard lots of people talk about it. This is an opportunity today for me to actually get to know Brian a little bit, but most importantly to hear his message of hope and to be able to find out, what waking up blessed means to him. If you're listening this morning, the show has been sponsored by SoberMap app. You can check it out at SoberMap.com. Please check them out. They're a great organization, and what they do is you can download the app and you can find a 12-step meeting anywhere in your area. It's just like Yelp, so check it out. They're doing a lot of stuff right now and kind of recreating some stuff, but they've been around for a couple of years now and working diligently on helping others, so check out SoberMap. Also, if you are in need of addiction recovery resources, Rockers in Recovery Media Partners are Clearbrook Treatment Centers, Amethyst Recovery Center, the Shores Treatment and Recovery, and Hope and Grace Recovery Centers. Right here at Blog Talk, you can see all of that listing. You can also go to rockersinrecovery.com and click on Media Partners, and everything's right there. You can also check us out at Rockers in Recovery on Facebook, and you can check me out. I'm John Hollis, again, host of the show, and you can check me out at John Hollis on Facebook also. I want to bring Brian on. Brian, good morning. Thank God we're waking up blessed,
Good morning.
my brother.
Good morning. So grateful to be here. Thank you.
Hey, man. Hey, listen, any day I'm above dirt and any day I get to, help carry the message along is a great day. I'm sure you feel the same.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, in my morning, one of the big things I do is I ask to have anything blocking me from spiritual guidance removed. That's part of my prayer in the morning.
Very cool. Do you find that, like waking up blessed, what does that mean to you?
Well, I do believe my recovery and my physical health, I believe there's an element of grace in that. I believe there's an element of what I say is undeserved grace, and some of my friends contradict me and say that grace is given and no one deserves it, that it's a part of what we're given. So for me, there's an element of grace and an element of my participation. Some days it's 100% grace. Some days it's 50-50 Brian, 50% grace. So it's interesting. It's interesting.
When you start to, think about it, Brian, because when we start our day, my buddy Nick says it eloquently. My brain is already running a half an hour before I get up, and it's already dictating what I'm going to do through the day, and and all the control and all of that stuff. And when my feet hit the floor, it really determines how I move forward from that point. if my day is going to be insane or not. And in a lot of cases, when I'm always, plugging in and reading my literature and getting centered and starting out my day, day always goes well. When I don't do those things, it gets a little crazy. So what are, you started to tell us a little bit of what you do in the morning, but what are some of the things that you do to start your day? Do you read? Do you pray? How does that work for you?
So for many, many years, I was helped enormously by the 24-hour-a-day, and for many, many, many years that sustained me and helped me, and I went through different books that helped me enormously. In the last few years, a lot of what I do is a devotional prayer, asking always for sobriety, and then asking, please remove all resentments and fears that are blocking me from guidance. Please remove anything blocking me from connection with people that I could serve or help today. And please remove all defects and fears that are not allowing me to hear the guidance. And then I do a little walking meditation. Part of my story is trauma recovery, and I find the gentle walking meditation to be a good access for me. Sometimes the sitting very still is difficult for me. Sometimes I can't do that. So I find the walking meditation. I do that depending on the day, depending on the weather, 10 minutes, 20 minutes, and that helps enormously. Something about the walking, focusing on my breath, and looking for positive inspiration and guidance. That helps me a lot. And some days I oversleep. I overslept yesterday, run out the door, and then I have to do my prayer and meditation later on.
And that's funny that you say that, because there's certain times that everybody goes through that. We're running way behind, and to find a quiet spot wherever we end up. I love that that you said that. One of the things that I have gone through, and many other people in recovery have gone through, is that we're in the middle of our day and we hit that storm of the day. It's going to happen somewhere during the day. We don't have rainbows and ponies all day long. We're going to have moments where we have to deal with stuff that is not great. So how do you deal with those things when they start to come up and you start to get hit with them? What do you do at the moment?
Well, like all of us, I've been trained to reach out. So I have men and women that are a big part of my recovery life. I was raised in AA, I was raised in NA, and ACA Big Red Book, Adult Children of Alcoholics Big Red Book, is a big part of my, what I call Recovery 4.0 or emotional recovery. So I have people, so I find reaching out still is very, very helpful, either by text, by email, by voice, whatever is appropriate for the situation. So that helps enormously. And then sometimes if I have time, because part of my work sometimes involves powerful family work, if I have time, I will go and walk a labyrinth. There's a wonderful app, labyrinthlocator.com, and whatever city I'm working in, it tells me where the labyrinths are in that city, in that area. So if I have time, I'll go walk a labyrinth, which is a silent meditative practice that's over 5,000 years old, the walking labyrinth.
Wow. Very cool. And through the process of many years of being in recovery, I'm sure you know that recovery can be fun, right?
Can be, I'm sorry, say it again?
Can be fun.
Oh, God, I have incredible fun. It is amazing to me how busy I am and how fun I am. In the early days, especially on a holiday or on a weekend, I averaged 4 meetings a day sometimes to try to stay busy and try to create some energy. And now, and I never would have thought that I would reach a point in sobriety where I had many friends and many different options and had to schedule myself. When I was in early recovery, I didn't need a schedule. No one wanted to speak to me. No one was inviting me anywhere. So now my life is I have to say to friends, oh, like, I'm so sorry, I have a commitment. I already have plans. And that's a gift of sobriety, to have options and invitations. I was not burdened by that at the end of my using or in my early recovery.
Have you found over the years, and I've found this recently, like, yesterday I was posting on Rockers in Recovery on Facebook, and I was doing some posts, and they're like funny. I try to put out some humorous stuff, and somebody was like, oh, the humor, the addiction humor, what are you going to start making fun of cancer later? Hey, listen, one of the things that I've found over time is I shouldn't take myself so seriously, and most importantly, there is some, fun about where I came from. Now, is it a serious thing? Yeah, by the grace of God, I'm where I'm at, but we got to have some humor in this too. Wouldn't you agree?
Well, it's a big part of my life. That's a big part of who I am. And I remember so vividly there was one great beginners meeting in early recovery where the guy was just incredibly funny. And we look forward to that. We never missed that meeting. We needed laughter so much. And it helped lift our spirits. It helped encourage us. It was like giving us oxygen. Of course, the great thing about recovery is everyone has their own personal journey and their own personal needs. But for me, the humor and the sense of humor and the being able to laugh is a big benefit. And we have a unique sense of humor. If I called you one day and said, oh, I feel like killing myself, you'd say, oh, what's the matter? You're stuck in the traffic on I-95? Whereas if you call a human being that and say, well, yeah, I feel like killing myself, they get all frightened. Civilians think, oh, my gosh, this is terrible. He feels like killing himself. So, that's, I think, a classic example of recovery humor. We say things that we understand, and it's our fellowship.
Over the years, there's been a lot of changes, and how you should say stuff and how you shouldn't say stuff. And I was taught a long time ago that my job is to just carry a message of hope, and to do that through my experience, strength, and hope. And there, lots of people have tried to put rules on how you're supposed to do that. And I think that, for anything, like when I start every show, it's like, okay, God, this is your show. Help us to help somebody with a message. And it's the same thing when I speak somewhere. Do you find that over the years that it's gotten kind of, that backed up and just people trying to control how the message goes out?
Well, 33 years ago when God got me sober, my home group had over 400 people. And there were 4 basic camps in that group. One believed only in the Big Book, one believed only in the Step Book, one believed only in the Hazelden Workbook, and the 4th were people that said, do not take the steps formally. That'll get you drunk. Live your life in recovery. Do lots of service work. So I immediately was thrown into 4 different camps, and you had to make your own decision. So I've seen enthusiastic people that deeply believed in this method or that method of recovery a long time. I remember then people who were in heroin recovery who still drank, and then that didn't work for them, and then they eventually decided that alcohol was bad for them. So a lot of these things that are such hot topics now and are polarizing and are frightening, and of course I know guys with 50 years sobriety. So I think when you've been in recovery a long time, you see these trends come and go, and my posture is to bring love and recovery wherever I am and be respectful of whatever meeting I'm in. If they say something at the beginning of the meeting, this is the rules of this meeting, I always follow the group conscience. But I don't get too bogged down in worrying about some of these hot topics where people are trying to change recovery in a drastic way with vocabulary things. I'm open to it, and we'll see how it flows.
Beautiful stuff. If you could, if there was somebody out there right now, let's say somebody's, seeking recovery for the first time, or maybe they're out on a relapse, or they're just a family member out there that doesn't know what to do with a little Johnny, what would you say to those folks?
Well, I had the blessing of my grandfather was in early recovery. I actually got detoxed in Towns Hospital where Dr. Silkworth worked. And I remember he and his pals, they had no negativity or judgment around relapse. They were just grateful when someone came back. And they immediately embraced them. They were into body counts back then. Good, you didn't die. Come on, help me. We're going to go make the coffee. So I think some of the shame or fear around relapse is sort of a new idea. Now, as far as right now, if you or a loved one are struggling, there are many resources, and it's a complex a situation now, deciding how to go and how to move forward and how to choose resources. That is an incredibly powerful thing. Family members, I always suggest read the book Love First by Deborah J. and Jeff J. And also try Al-Anon, try ACA, try some of their own self-care. Because I think if you're trying to help someone come out of substance misuse, self-care is very important. And if you get healthier, you'll be able to help the other person much more effectively. The person who is struggling, what I would say is you deserve a better quality of life. You deserve to be happy, sober, joyous, and free. And if you had a bad experience of one 12-step operation, go to a different one. There are many different groups with many different personalities. Don't write off an entire self-help resource because of one or two bad experiences. You reach out again, try another meeting, try to move towards recovery.
Beautiful stuff. I want to thank you, Brian, for being on the show this morning. If you could you just give your information if people wanted to reach out to you?
Oh, yeah. So I've had a small intervention practice on a national level for a long time. So I am Brian O'Shea, Caring Interventions. We do assessments, interventions, treatment placement, and sober coaching. So Brian O'Shea, 800-956-6212, and my direct cell is 601-503-7203, Brian O'Shea, Caring Interventions.
Brian, thank you so much again. You can also check out Brian on Facebook, too. He's got some great friends, man. I was looking over some of your friends lists, and you hang out with some really cool people and, doing the deal every day, and that's a great thing. And you definitely are doing the deal, and I want to thank you again for being on Waking Up Blessed and making our day, filled with hope and inspiration.
I am grateful. Together we can and do recover. Thank you so much.
Absolutely. We'll talk soon, Brian. Look forward to having you on in the future.
Thank you, sir.
All right. Bye-bye. So much for tuning in to Brian this morning and checking out our show here at Waking Up Blessed, sponsored by SoberMap. Check out SoberMap at SoberMap.com. If you need help, you're suffering, you need some help, you're a family member, you're somebody that needs to get clean, to get sober, and you think that you're ready to do that, then you can check out Clearbrook Treatment Centers out of Pennsylvania, Amethyst Recovery Center out of Port St. Lucie, the Shores Treatment and Recovery out of Port St. Lucie, and Hope and Grace Recovery Center out of Fort Lauderdale. These guys are really, really in to help people, been around doing this since 2008. And these folks are plugged in and helping others. And please go to rockersandrecovery.com, click on the Recovery Partners, and you'll see more listings there of other people that can help. People like SAMHSA and Music Cares and other folks that are out there that are willing to help. Most importantly, if you're waking up blessed this morning, you're listening to this show, I want to ask you to have a great day. And I'm going to do the same. I want to thank everybody again for tuning in and being a part of Waking Up Burlesque. We are on the air every morning, Monday through Friday at 9 a.m. Eastern Time. Please check out our newsletter that just went out, too. You can check that out at Rockers in Recovery on Facebook. And you guys have a blessed day. Each morning we, of course, pick a song that we're going to go out with. Rockers in Recovery this morning picked Dope Sick Blues by Mitz. Mitz is a recovering musician that is amazing. He's a singer-songwriter. He's worked with Crosby, Stills, and Nash. He's worked with Government Mule. This guy has been around the block and does great work. And he'll be on the show coming up here on July 13th, and we're going to play Dope Sick Blues, a song he wrote while he was just first getting clean. So here you go, Dope Sick Blues by Mitz. You can check him out at Mitz, M-I-Z, on Facebook.
It's 5 a.m. and the sun will be rising soon. There ain't a damn thing I can do. It's cold outside and I feel like I'm ready for the spring. Oh, just to hear the morning sing. Late this morning with my sheets all drenched in sweat, just trying to get used to living endlessly in debt. I spent the last few years just digging my own grave, yeah, and suffering like a slave, and suffering like a take it out, nice and easy. to you. Well, I'm so tired of having these don't get through. How do I untie this noose? How do I untie it? Oh, baby, won't you take me down nice and easy? Somebody told me once you'd never leave me. Oh, baby, won't you take me down nice and slow? I got nowhere else to. I got nowhere else to go.
Rockers in Recovery Radio is based on opinion only and is not meant to treat or diagnose any health or mental health issue of any kind. If you feel you need help for any health-related issues, please contact a physician or mental health professional. The opinions expressed by our guests are not necessarily those of Rockers in Recovery.
Okay, round two. Name something that's not boring.
A laundry? Ooh, a book club. Computer solitaire, huh?
Ah, sorry, we were looking for Chumba Casino. That's right, ChumbaCasino.com has over 100 casino-style games. Join today and play for free for your chance to redeem some serious prizes. ChumbaCasino.com. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited by law. 18+ terms and conditions apply. See website for details.